can't save the world, if I can't change what's going on in the outer world, what's the point of trying? The point is, I am love, and in order to be who I am, I have to live that love. That's the point. It doesn't matter what happens out there. What matters is what happens in here. And when we all get to the point where we allow what happens in here to live from the inside out, to know that the love of God is ours to live, that that's our purpose, then the outside will change, but not because we ran around and tried to change it, but because we went within and understood the truth of who we are. The more of us who do that, the closer we get to a world of true peace. So today we're talking about releasing and claiming. The release is what I titled this first part. The Buddha talked about 4 noble truths. The first noble truth, he said, was the truth of suffering, that we all suffer. It happens in life. You don't get out of this life without suffering. And the truth of the cause of suffering, which is that we hold on to that which changes. We try to hold on to that which changes. And the truth of the end of suffering is when we stop holding on to that which changes, when we release wanting things to be other than they are. And the path that leads to the end of suffering is the 4th noble truth. He talks about the middle way, not going too extreme in any direction, but staying centered. Staying centered. And I believe that this is true, that our suffering is caused by holding on to that which changes, to that which is temporal. And the release of suffering is to let go of that which we have held on to. Here's the deal. It's releasing the stuff that doesn't serve us that we've held on to. The things, the traumas that happened in the past, well, the trauma happened, but our blame for the trauma, our assigning motivation to people for the trauma, our continually re-traumatizing ourselves by reliving the trauma that happened 5 minutes ago or 50 years ago, that is ours to control. That is ours to decide. Are we going to hold on to that? Are we going to hold on to that, or are we going to let it go? Are we going to hold on to unforgiveness, or are we going to allow ourselves to breathe free? Are we going to hold on to the habits that do not serve us? The habits of distraction that we use, whether it be drinking or drugs or eating or watching Netflix or reading book after book after book without one single second between the end of one and the beginning of the other. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. There are all kinds of things we do to distract ourselves. And it's okay to relax and distract every now and then, but when you realize that you're using your distraction as a way to not focus on what's going on in here, then that distraction has become an addiction, and it is not serving you. So we let go of what hurts. We let go. What if you decided today, your whole life would change if today you decided that every time you got hurt, you would be hurt that once? And you wouldn't go on rewounding yourself by ruminating over that hurt over and over and over and over again. Don Miguel Ruiz says that who's hurting you now? That happened, yes, it hurt you, it was legitimate, but who's hurting you now? Your mind, your own mind is what's hurting you now. Your mind refusing to let go. Because guess what? It already changed. It's not happening at this moment. It happened, but it's not happening now. And when you hold on to it, you continually re-wound yourself. You behave, your body reacts, your spirit reacts, your emotions react, your thoughts react as if it were happening in this moment. So somebody hurts you once, Shame on them. You hurt yourself the rest of the times. The rest of the times. Why? I don't know, because it feels so good to hurt sometimes. We like to be victims. We like the excuse that it gives us. We like to say we got a raw deal. And of course, we don't think we like to say we got a raw deal, but why do we keep saying we got a raw deal if we don't really, at some level, like it? So we're holding on to that hurts. We're re-wounding. Something that came into consciousness at some point, something that happened that we were unable to allow to pass through, right? It came, it happened. I mean, how many times were you hurt as a child? There's no telling. Hurt is sort of a daily occurrence. Emotional hurt, physical hurt, all kinds of hurt happens when you're a child, but how many are you remembering and holding on to? You might have 5, you might have 15, you might have 50, you might have one that is, you are now defining yourself by. This terrible wounding that happened to me, and that is now the definition of who I am. I am that and I will never not be that. This happened to me. Yes, this happened to you, and it does not define you. So all those other hurts that you don't remember, it's because you allowed them to pass through. You got hurt, you let it go. So what was the reason you held on to certain ones? I don't know. Maybe they were extremely traumatic and your body stored a memory of it. But what I know is this. All of those other hurts were allowed to pass through because guess what? You have all the tools you need inside yourself to let go. You have all the tools you need to let it go. Something captured your fear that said, what if I can't? What if I can't live through this? What if I can't let it go? And the moment that thought occurred, then you created a pattern inside yourself. Buddhists call it a samskara, a pattern inside yourself, so that now every time you see something, hear something, remember something that reminds you of that incident, so it's not even just that incident, now it's every time you see a guy in a red shirt, let's say, a guy in a red shirt hurt you, you weren't able to let go of it. Now every time you see a red shirt, you get angry. You don't know why. But maybe it triggers a memory within you. Because we didn't let go of those patterns. We didn't let go of those things that didn't serve us. And guess what? You're a grown-up now. You get to choose. You get to choose to let go of those things which hurt you. But it's not only the things that hurt us that hurt us. Also, really good things happened. And we told ourselves the story that this feels so good, it'll probably never happen again. I better hold on to this. Do everything I can to recreate it again and again and again throughout my life and be disappointed every time it doesn't get recreated. Dang it. So we keep trying and we keep trying and we keep trying. This person is the thing. I felt good in the presence of this person. Therefore, this person must have been what made me feel good. And in the face of this person and being with them and feeling bad over and over and over and over again for years afterward, we can still be stuck on, but I felt good once. It must have been about them. And yet, when we come to the point where we allow ourselves to let go, and part of that is realizing that treasure was within me all the time. That feeling good happened because I felt good. It happened in the presence of that person. Yay! And yet, it happened because of me. Because I have this capacity for love. I have this capacity for feeling good. And so, if I allow it, it can happen over and over and over again. And I don't even need anybody else's presence to make it happen. But the moment I grab onto it and think this is the only good that has ever happened to me or that will ever happen, or this was the best thing, and there will never be another thing that's that best, so I better hold on to it, we are also hurting ourselves. Jesus said exactly the same thing. Don't store your treasures on earth. Everything that happens here, you're storing it up. Whether it's good or it's bad, you're storing it up. You're saying, that's mine. That wounding, that's mine. That good feeling, that's mine. And here are all your treasures on earth stored in your body, all this trauma. Jesus said, no, store your treasure in heaven, where there's no rust, no moth, no thief can break in to heal it, to steal it. Store your treasure up in a heavenly place. Store your treasure in the truth of the love that is yours for the taking at any moment, that is being given to you constantly, and only you can block the flow of it. And only you can allow the flow of it. Store up your treasures in heaven. Yeah. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So if your treasure is your victimization, or if your treasure is this one incident, this one thing that I used to do, this one person, this one thing that made me feel good, then there's where my heart is, and it will be hurt over and over and over again. But if I can store my treasure in a higher place, store my treasure in the love, store my treasure in the release, there's my heart, and then I am truly free. So I'm going to give you a practice. We're going to do a little ceremony around this, but first I'm going to give you a practice. When you notice those things come up, when you feel that tugging inside yourself that says, oh, this happened, I'm still hurting, when you want to rewound, when you're in traffic and somebody cuts you off, I'm telling you that's an old wound, because they're just driving and you're just driving and you have no idea why they're doing what they're doing. But when somebody cuts you off and you go, you think you're so much more important than I am. Is that about them? Or is that about you? Is that about some insecurity within yourself? Is it about somebody who once told you that you were, or that you heard from them, whether they said it or not, that you weren't somehow as valuable or as important? And is that you rewounding yourself over and over again? So when you feel that tug, do this. Breathe. Breathe into it. Relax your body. It will immediately give you some measure of release. You may have to breathe again and again and again and again. This is a practice. I told you I was going to give you a practice, not a miracle. A practice that you get to do over and over and over again. And the more you practice releasing, the better you get at releasing. The better you get at releasing. So today, what do you need to release? Judgment, perhaps? Because all of this stuff about they think he's doing, these things that we think that they are causing for us is about us judging them for that, not about us claiming responsibility for who we are. The things that we fear, we need to let go of our fears, to breathe through them, to relax around them. Our opinions, hello, I know. Don't tell me I don't know. I know. And you don't know. Obviously, you don't know because you disagree with me. Therefore, you must not know, and I must know. Wow, think about how much pain we cause ourselves simply by believing the things that we think. What if we went, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. This is God's world, not mine. There's so much more going on here than I could ever possibly imagine. So what if I were to imagine that God is an all-loving God and that it's taken care of? What if I were to relax rather than hold on to that thought, that opinion, that idea, that I know, that I'm right, that everyone else is wrong? What if I were to actually forgive somebody who legitimately hurt me? Because guess what? They hurt me that one time. Maybe they're still in my life. Maybe they're still hurting me. Maybe one of the things I need to do is remove myself from the situation. That's okay. That's not unforgiveness. That's, I learned something and now I'm doing something different. But we don't have to continually be rewounded. So what we're going to do now is just sing a little chant. Oh, I do want to say, when you notice, I love this, or I need this, or I love that, or I need to do this over and over again because it felt so good, that's a time to relax and breathe through it too. Right? It's the best thing that ever happened. Well, if you decide it is, it probably is. And it's not going to happen again. But if you decide, who knows what the best thing that's going to happen in my life is, it could happen 40 years from now. Then we open ourselves. We're not holding tight onto something that's already in the past, because even if it was 1 second ago, it's already in the past. So we train ourselves to let go, and today we're going to do this letting go ceremony. I am free. I am unlimited. Take those words into yourself.
I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. We are free, we are unlimited. There are no chains that bind us. We are free, we are unlimited. Right now, right now. We are free, we are unlimited. There are no chains that bind us. We are free, we are unlimited. Right now, right now.
And as the music continues to play, I invite you to just breathe deeply. Either close your eyes or let them rest on a fixed point somewhere. And ask yourself this question: when I sing, I am free, I am unlimited, is there anything that comes up in consciousness that feels like a chain? Perhaps there's something from the past, from the distant past, that still haunts you, that you still use to identify who I am. That's just your ego holding on to that. Maybe it's something that happened yesterday. Maybe it's something that you are fearing will happen tomorrow. Just ask yourself this question: as I release 2024, what would I like to release? What would I like to say is no longer mine? It no longer has a hold on me. I let the past be the past. I let other people be who they are, even if I think they're wrong. And when you have that thought, letting other people be who they are, see the people that float up. Just allow all this to come up in your mind, because we're about to take this pen and write on this piece of paper, writing the things that we are willing and ready to release. And as you just allow those things to float up, those things that I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to feel this anymore. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to be this anymore. I don't want to be controlled by this anymore. Those are those heavenly thoughts that are guiding you toward what you have held on to, maybe not on purpose, probably not on purpose, maybe even unconsciously. And yet, they might be the very things holding you back from your very best life. And remember, you're not letting go of a person. You're letting go of your attachment to what that person means to you. If the person is here to stay, then the person is here to stay. And no idea you have around them can make them stay. And yet feeling the loosening of your fingers around them may allow them to stay in freedom and in truth and in love. And if there's something that's ready to be released, only you can hold on to it, so only you can let go of it. And you can say, this happened, but I am no longer attached to that. That's not who I am. I'm going to give you just a few moments of silence to write those things down. As you look over that list, you may still be writing things down, that's fine. I invite you to simply breathe. Read each word. Breathe freely and allow your body to relax. And you've already begun the letting go. Looks like most of you are ready. So what we're going to do right now, this is the fun part, is you're going to actually take that piece of paper. The ushers are going to come forward, and they're going to lead you in an orderly fashion out of this door so you can set this puppy on fire. We have a chimney right outside this door, and then go back in the other door so that we have a one-way flow going and we don't get a lot of congestion here. All right, it looks like we're back in. So I have another short reading. You ready, Justin? From the poem Sacred Ground. I want to worship at the shrine of everywhere. Want to know every inch of this earth as an altar, every walk as a pilgrimage, every step, a step from holy to holy to holy.